Welcome back, guys. Let's talk about reading chord charts. So a chord chart is a representation of your guitar fretboard. It's going to have some vertical lines, horizontal lines, dots, X's, maybe some numbers or some O's. The vertical lines represent the guitar strings. The line on the left is your lowest E string. The line on the right is your high E string. The horizontal lines represent your frets. Anywhere you see a dot, that's where you will be pressing. Anytime you see an X, it means that that string is not part of the chord. And anytime you see an O or maybe a blank space, it means it's an open string. So let's look at an example. E minor has mostly open strings, but two spots where you need to press. So you'll take finger 2 and 3, that's your middle and ring, and place them on those spots. Remember, get nice and close to the fret and arch your fingers away from the fretboard, and then play and check for clarity. You want a nice clean tone. If you're getting some kind of muting or buzzing, it just means you gotta adjust your fingers a little bit, and everybody's fingers are different, so you just kind of have to figure that out for yourself. Let's look at another chord that is similar to this one. The A minor has 3 different places where you're pressing, but it also has an X. So that X means that you will not be playing that string as part of this chord. So you have to figure out how not to play it. There's 2 different ways. One is you can strum starting on your 5th fret, or the other is you can mute it or touch it lightly with your thumb so that it doesn't make a sound as you strum. The very first goal that you should have as a beginner is to learn your open chords. And these are chords that are in this position here. Those are chords that have strings that are open, and that's why they're called open chords. And here's a few of them. There are more, but I would start with just memorizing these chords. Now remember, memorizing doesn't mean that you remember in your mind where things are, but what I'm talking about is muscle memory. So practice jumping from each of these chords and just make that something that you don't really have to think about. So that's your first step. In the next lesson, I'm going to talk about how to read tablature so that you can play the melodies and riffs and licks that you love. I'll see you then.